Chapter 3: Bitcoin Core, the reference implementation. Bitcoin is an open source project, and the source code is available under an open MIT license, free to download and use for any purpose. Open source means more than simply free to use. It also means that Bitcoin is developed by an open community of volunteers. At first, that community consists of only Satoshi Nakamoto. By 2016, Bitcoin's source code had more than 400 contributors, with about a dozen developers working on the code almost full-time and several dozen more on a part-time basis. Anyone can contribute to the code, including you. When Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, the software was actually completed before the white paper was written. Satoshi wanted to make sure it worked before writing about it. The first implementation, then simply known as Bitcoin or Satoshi Client, has been heavily modified and improved. It has evolved into what is known as Bitcoin Core, to differentiate it from other compatible implementations. Bitcoin Core is the reference implementation of the Bitcoin system, meaning that it is the authoritative reference on how each part of the technology should be implemented. Bitcoin Core implements all aspects of Bitcoin, including wallets, a transaction and block validation engine, and a full network node in the peer-to-peer Bitcoin network. Warning: even though Bitcoin Core includes a reference implementation of a wallet, this is not intended to be used as a production wallet for users or for applications. Application developers are advised to build wallets using modern standards such as BIP39 and BIP32, where BIP stands for Bitcoin Improvement Proposal. Bitcoin Development Environment. If you are a developer, you will want to set up a development environment with all the tools, libraries, and support software for writing Bitcoin applications. In this highly technical chapter, we will walk through that process step by step. If the material becomes too dense, feel free to skip to the next chapter, which is less technical. Compiling Bitcoin Core from the source code. Bitcoin Core's source code can be downloaded as an archive or by cloning the authoritative source repository from GitHub. On the Bitcoin Core download page, select the most recent version and download the compressed archive of the source code. Alternatively, use the git command line to create a local copy of the source code from the GitHub Bitcoin page. Tip: in many of the examples in this chapter, we will be using the operating system's command line interface, also known as a shell, accessed via a terminal application. The shell will display a prompt. You type a command, and the shell responds with some text and a new prompt for your next command. The prompt may look different on your system, but in the following examples, it is denoted by a $sign symbol. In the examples, when you see text after a $sign symbol, don't type the $sign symbol, but type the command immediately following it, then press Enter to execute the command. In the examples, the lines below each command are the operating system's responses to that command. When you see the next $sign prefix, you will know it's a new command and you should repeat the process. In this example, we are using the git command to create a local copy of the source code. $, git clone, https://github.com/bitcoin/bitcoin.git. Tip: Git is the most widely used distributed version control system, an essential part of any software developer's toolkit. You may need to install the git command or a graphical user interface for Git on your operating system if you do not already have it. When the git cloning operation has completed, you will have a complete local copy of the source code repository in the directory Bitcoin. Change to this directory by typing cd bitcoin at the prompt. Selecting a Bitcoin Core release. By default, the local copy will be synchronized with the most recent code, which might be an unstable or beta version of Bitcoin. Before compiling the code, select a specific version by checking out a release tag. This will synchronize the local copy with a specific snapshot of the code repository identified by a keyword tag. Tags are used by the developers to mark specific releases of the code by version number. First, to find the available tags, we use the git tag command, $git tag. The list of tags show all the released versions of Bitcoin. By convention, release candidates which are intended for testing have the suffix RC. Stable releases that can be run on production system have no suffix. From the preceding list, select the highest version release, which at the time of writing was version 0.15.0. To synchronize the local code with this version, use the git checkout command, $git checkout v0.15.0. You can confirm you have the desired version checked out by issuing the command git status, $git status. Configuring the Bitcoin Core build. The source code includes documentation, which can be found in a number of files. Review the main documentation located in readme.md in the Bitcoin directory. In this chapter, we will build the command line Bitcoin client, also known as Bitcoin-D on Linux. Review the instructions for compiling the Bitcoin-D command line client on your platform in the doc/build-unix.md file.